Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Greg, otherwise known as T.A.G Gamer, and yeah, I was hoping that Treyarch would do the zombies bit last out of the whole new Operation Dark Divide thing, but however, they've decided to go and do the zombies bit straight away, so I'm just going to get it on, going to watch it, see what's going on. Yeah, I'm just going to sharpen this one, really. That's basically
the opportunity to sit down with several members of the zombies team.
As we pick up the Ether story after the events of Alpha Omega, we now have Ultimus and Primus working together. That was a really, really fun map to do, but really, to get to the end of the story, it becomes apparent that they also are going to want a little bit more help, and that's where Victus comes in.
DLC 4 is always a special one. It's the end of each arc, right? DLC 4, your expectations, your story is kind of built to a certain point. It's also the place where we give you a couple of zingers. That's a place where we challenge the community, and this being the very end of the Ether story means we got a surprise in store for everyone.
So when players get to T.A.G, they're going to immediately recognize this is an iconic classic location from a previous Call of Duty map, Call of the Dead. But something's different about it. Call of the Dead actually took place in the future, whereas T.A.G is going to take place in the past.
So previously you heard some audio recordings of Richtofen experimenting on the Ultimus crew. And now in this map you'll be able to see where that took place. In T.A.G der Toten, the map is set in the daytime. So now lines of sight are a lot farther.
We really wanted to play around with verticality gameplay. We have features such as the flingers, zip lines, and we have a bunch of geometry where we can platform around zombies to get around zombies faster. We have a new perk called Blaze Phase, and we're also bringing back two fan favorite elixirs, Power Vacuum and Secret Shopper.
First you've got Power Vacuum, which gives you a increased chance to get power-up drops. And also there's no restrictions on the number of drops in the round. So it's just raining power-ups and then you just go vacuum them all up. The next thing is Secret Shopper. This one allows you to buy ammo for your weapon at any wall buy location. And unlike the last game, you can now buy ammo for your wonder weapon. The new weapon is the Wunderwaffe DG Scharfschütze. It's got a sniper scope on it, which allows it to electrify zombies in an area from very far away.
In a weird way, going back to this location, the Siberian facility, it's bringing the characters full circle. It's, you know, they've been trying to escape from the cycles that they've been in ever since they broke out of Blood of the Dead, but in a lot of ways they have to just keep confronting their past.
The best thing about the Ether maps is working with all the fractured timelines and all the associated narrative with it. It's always great when the fans try to piece together kind of what we're doing.
We've been on this wild ride for zombies for so long, again, over a decade of making zombies, and to see the Ether storyline finally come to a conclusion, it's pretty emotional. There's been so many ups and downs, so many different maps, and so many stories that we've told within the larger narrative. It's actually pretty exciting for fans and the hardcore zombies community to really experience this final map for us.
As the curtains are coming to a close, I suppose the kind of final message I would say is, you know, first of all, to the team. If I've received any success through all this time, it's because I've been standing on the shoulders of giants. And so the team have never let me down in any endeavor we've done over the past 10 years for zombies. And it kind of chokes me up to kind of think about that, because they rocked and rolled through the whole thing and turned out amazing game content, which each and every one of them can be incredibly proud of.
A big thank you to all of our zombies fans and the whole community out there. You guys have been along for the ride on this one through all these different maps. You've been there the whole time.
A huge kind of heartfelt thank you to each and every member out there. All of their opinions and their passion mean the world to me, and I know to the team.
Here with us in studio today to talk to us about all things zombies and to catch us up on what to expect with T.A.G der Toten, we've got our lead writer, Craig Houston. Craig, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, John. Good to see you.
Oh, yes. Good to see you too. Okay, there's a lot to cover here.
Yes.
This is the conclusion of the Ether storyline. Bring us up to speed. Recap the major events that brought us to this moment.
There's been so many major events. It's been quite the ride. But most recently, the characters Ultimus and Primus managed to break themselves out of the loop that they'd been stuck in through Black Ops 3 and that whole storyline with collecting souls and stuff. We now have Primus Nikolai in charge with a full knowledge of what lays in store for them, taking the characters on yet another journey into what's the unknown for our fans, but is all in Nikolai's head now. He knows where we're going.
All right. Well, if you could kind of explain to our viewers, like, why this, why here, why now? It's my understanding that the comic book series has really kind of helped set us up to help bring us to this moment. Give us a little bit of that context.
Yeah, the comic book series, if everyone remembers this fun one, which we did years ago, and that is kind of instrumental for setting up a lot of the story that we're going to be exploring in the new map. We have the reintroduction of the Victus crew, who've been sitting in ice at the end of the comic book. In Alcatraz, people will remember seeing them in their little pods in Blood of the Dead, and of course people speculated as to whether they would get out of the pods. And as people have now seen, they have indeed gotten out of the pods. And they are once again acting as, agents for Richtofen and Nikolai in particular. Poor Samuel Stullinger still got the blessing of hearing Richtofen in his head, which is always fun. But the characters are being guided a little bit by Nikolai because he needs them to go certain places and achieve certain things for the benefit of everyone. And why this place? Well, talk about things coming full circle. We're going to the Group 935 facility in Siberia that was where so much of our story really began with the original test subjects.
Right. So I had that a little further down on my list. I wanted to come back to the importance of the 935 group.
Yeah.
Anything you want to touch on now?
I guess one of the, like I say, much like we did in Alpha Omega, there's a lot of elements that have been sitting in the story that people kind of need some closure on, or also some dots connected. Mm-hmm. Going to this Siberian facility is going to allow us to do that, because Group 935, as I say, that's where they did some of their most nefarious work. And there are people and there are objects in the location that are going to be essential for Nikolai to achieve what he knows he needs to achieve.
Yeah, all right. So whenever during our last live stream for Alpha Omega, we talked a little bit about the writing process.
Yes.
And just to kind of give people an idea of the brilliance that is lodged between those years, but the amount of work that requires to bring a story of this complexity to life. You brought some visual aids.
Yeah, there's one particular visual aid. I mean, obviously, like everything else, this is a team effort, and there's a huge number of people that work on it. And for 10 years, we've had so many elements building between our design departments, our audio departments, our art departments, our narrative department. But the heavy lifting part of it, and this is something I don't know if people really understand when we do these Zombies DLCs, is within the space of around 3 months, we have to write and record an entire script.
What does 3 months worth of work look like, Craig?
In the case of Alpha Omega, that was 3 months of work. And these aren't blank pages, these are just solid pages of dialogue. And I wanted to, that was a nice sound, because we mentioned it last time, the sheer volume of writing work and recording work that went into it. And because of the nature of Zombies, I don't think people realise what 5,500 lines looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It also looks like bags under my eyes and considerable stress, but it's all driven by passion and love.
But whenever you talk about sort of numbers of lines, there are probably no weightier lines than the ones carried this time. Probably some heavy-duty material to cover.
Yeah, I think at the end of the last stream I actually said, I've got to run off and finish it. I was kind of in the middle of it.
Welcome to the stream, dude.
Entire process, and
welcome. We are a little bit behind the normal stream.
It's been quite the ride. It's been quite the ride. I'm
I was
very,
expecting them to
very
do Zombies
interested to see
last,
how everyone
but
reacts.
gone straight in with it.
Because,
So
again, as we did with Alpha Omega, we're doing something a little bit different this time. For the map, as people should know by now, we're going to be playing as the Victus crew, which is great to bring them back. As I say, we kept them on ice for a few years, wondering.
we've confirmed that the Wonderwolf is a
return.
sniper
We always knew they
Wonderwolf
would.
weapon, which I
But
called.
What's really fun this time round is Ultimus and Primus. They're not fighting zombies at the moment. They are actually in another location, having a really good time. They're telling some stories. They're telling some jokes. There's going to be some truths come out. There's going to be some things revealed about both Primus and Ultimus that people perhaps didn't really know. They're even going to sing a song. People have seen in the cutscene that yeah, they're having a drink and they're having a good time, and by God, they've deserved it after everything they've been through. So it's on for Victus to do all the hard work this time.
Well, speaking of that having a good time, you brought
Not
with
miss-
us.
not miss
or
much,
you,
mate.
Brought with us. You brought the intro cutscene,
hang on.
and so there are a couple things going on that will sort of raise some eyebrows for fans of Blood of the Dead, the
Yep.
Campfire, Frozen Forest. There's
Yep.
a lot to unpack here. Set this
All
up for us.
connected. It's all connected. As I said earlier, the location they're at is really, really important. I don't want to give too much away, but there are other guest characters that people have speculated in or wondered about for a long, long time. But really so much of what's tied into this location and its history. I mean, people that remember the original Call of the Dead, George A. Romero in his intro was talking about he found all these weird documents of all these crazy experiments in. In the original map, you didn't see any evidence of that really, you know, it was mostly a coastal area, but just as we did in Alpha Omega, this is a substantially larger play space and people are going to be able to go to areas they've never been before and in turn find out things they didn't know before and meet characters they've never met before. All the fun stuff.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah, we're going to have plenty of that today with
I just don't want anyone to call me that when all this is done. There'll be a few other names.
Right. Well, Craig, then with that, then let's roll the intro cutscene.
We've seen the intro cutscene. So I mean, basically, what he's saying is that Call of the Dead was set in the future, and this Tagda and Toten is actually set in the past. So we're going back in time. I'm guessing this is going to be where Element 115 originated from. I'm guessing. Obviously, yes, we're playing with Victus. He keeps mentioning the Ultimus and Primus crews being somewhere else, and that's quite key. So I get the vibe that we might get 2 parts of this DLC. You know, first part Victus, and then we'll get a cutscene and then go to a second part. Because he said this location here, where they're at now, the Dark Forest, the Frozen Forest, is like they're not with Victus crew.
We stand on the brink of
so I reckon, like I said, the Victus crew have gone back in time to go and get the Golden Rod. Because in Call of the Dead in the future, they used it for the focusing stone and all that sort of stuff. I reckon they're going to go back, get the Golden Rod again, build this Argathan device, take it to these guys, and then
we celebrate.
They go to the Great War. I don't know. Could probably use this time to catch up a little bit. We've seen all this before.
Maggot feeders headed downstairs, and we ain't got no weapons.
Giorgio Romero in this? No, I don't think he is, because obviously it's set previously, so no, I'm going to say no on that. I'm pretty sure he's not. I think they have confirmed he's not as well, actually, thinking about it. But yeah, Giorgio Romero is not in it. See, this for me, what's this? I know who it is, I'm Rick Topham, but what's the relevance? What's the relevance?
What we did in
right?
And Together's a funny.
Alright, let's see what they have to say now. Looks like we can get some gameplay
so
footage.
Craig, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that we get all 3 crews together, right?
And Together's a funny word.
There you go.
It's a really funny word. I mean,
all 3 crews of Victus, Primus, and Ultimus.
Or something like.
Careful. Yeah, I mean, they get to interact, which they've never really done to this extent. But it's a different thing to what we did in Alpha Omega. I mean, if all 12 characters had been playable, I think that would have been impossible, and the script would have been up to here. And I just wish the kind of direct.
Looked like Power was there straight away.
By Nikolai. I mean, people who remember Black Ops 2 will remember that Maxis used to speak through radios and pieces of technology. There's a similar thing going on here with Nikolai as he tries to guide the characters through the main quest and get the thing he needs.
One of the things that I think is really interesting, I think people would appreciate a little insight into, is while all of us have a relationship with these 4 characters, you've also developed a professional working relationship with the VO actors that have brought them to life for so long. And so we've got Steve Blum as Dempsey, Nolan North, Rick DeFinn, Fred Tatasciore, Nikolai, and Tom Kane as Takio.
Yep.
Talk about working with these guys for so long and kind of where we're at now.
Where we're at now, this is where it could get emotional. Where we're at now is a very, very interesting place, because, you know, we're not lying when we say this is the end of the line for Primus, Ultimus, and Victus. I'm really pleased, and I know the cast are pleased, that we've kind of gone all out on the last 2 maps. You know, we got all of Primus and all of Ultimus as playable characters, so they got to talk more than they ever did. And now in Tag der Toten, putting them in that different environment where they're actually just talking to each other and stuff, and like I say, telling jokes and stories, that was something that they really, really appreciated. I mean, the song in particular was quite a challenge. Just the sheer volume of material that they have to get through. It's been weird, because, you know, we've got to the stage now where they know the characters inside out. The story's very difficult for them to understand, obviously.
There's an image of a lighthouse on the wall there.
It's a bit complex. But they're so familiar with their characters that, you know, they had a lot of fun switching between Primus and Ultimus at those sessions. You know, over the years we've done Comic-Con stuff with them and everything, and I've really got to know those guys, and the characters mean the world to them. And that's what's made everything we've done recently very, very poignant. I got a lovely text off Tom Kane the other day that brought tears to my eyes, because I knew there were tears in his eyes as he was writing it. But you know, as they say, all good things have to come to an end.
Well, to talk a little bit more about that end, we were able to catch up with each of the VO actors and to talk a little bit more about their roles in Tag der Toten.
In the early days, we didn't have as many lines. In fact, I think Tank was one of the first of our characters to speak. And so the sessions were short. It was just like a big burst of screaming, and we're in and out. And as we progressed along, there were more and more lines written for us, and especially in this most recent incarnation.
Nothing we've done compares to what we've just done. I mean, I've recorded tens of thousands of lines as Takio. Originally, Takio was almost comic relief. I mean, he was a very stereotypical character, as they all were.
Back in the day, when Tank was nothing but a meathead, yes, that was really fun to play. It was fun just to get that out of my body sometimes, because I needed to. But the best stories for me are the ones where there's a little more depth, there's a little more exploration.
With the Alpha Omega map, the fans got more Richtofen than they probably bargained for. And as an actor, just being able to explore the 2 different versions of Richtofen with Ultimus and Primus, it was a dream come true. Ultimus is more ultimate. I know, I remember. Okay, here we go.
Going from very drunk, loud, angry guy to sober guy, and then becoming a leader was a really interesting thing. To see that in the other characters, and that Richtofen hands over the responsibility to me, to Nikolai, realizing that Nikolai has to be the one to carry out these tasks. It was probably one of the biggest character arcs I've ever played.
The characters are much more than ever before allowed to just be themselves.
When we got to sit around as friends and actually reflect
can you
on
send
the
me a
journey
thumbnail on
that we
Discord?
have all traveled.
Which thumbnail, Tasmans? That is literally just a thumbnail I've chucked on there just to get this done. I actually need to create a thumbnail for
journey
Tag der Toten.
World or worlds.
That's what I need to do.
Ages, whatever you want to call it. This, his whole being. It's been one of the most interesting.
I haven't got one that I'm going to use yet. I've not got one.
Interesting projects I've ever had.
I need to.
Looking back on.
I need to make one. I'm going to make one now.
As Nikolai would say, all good and bad things must come to an end. And we really did need to have some closure on it. As sad as I am as a fan, and you know, we love doing this work, it's sad to say goodbye to it.
The changes that we've all gone through, at least for myself personally and professionally, have been surprisingly profound for a video game.
The different personalities that I was able to explore as an actor.
Yeah, I will do,
the
man.
lines,
I'm building it now, so as soon as it's ready, I'll
lines that we've got to say over 10 years. It's just been fantastic. So it's been wunderbar, as the doctor would say.
Watching these characters grow and change and interact. I mean, yeah, of course you get, you know, a little emotional about, is this the end?
I'm grateful to have been on this journey with my friends, and in life they are my friends too. It's a family. We are this amazing dysfunctional family, and I'm just grateful to be part of it.
All right, Craig. So having spoken to those actors,
Yeah.
let's come back to your work with the Victus crew as well.
I know that was a really fun one, because I think all of them were a little bit surprised when they got the call, because it's been quite, you know, we kept them alive in the comic, well, kind of alive. We kept them in stasis in the comic book, and they'd been in earlier in the year. They'd done their stuff for Blackout, obviously, but I don't think they really expected to get the call.
Yeah.
So when they came in, it was really refreshing and fun to hear just how much is lived with them. You know, it's like Stephanie that plays Misty, you know, she's like, yeah, this is a character I get asked about. This is in my canon kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was the same with Keith, who's Rossman, and Dave, who plays Stillinger, and Scott, who plays Malton. And yeah, it was a really fun energy, because we hadn't worked with them for so long. We hadn't really written them for so long. So I think that helped, you know, shake things up a lot.
Fun to get the band back together.
Yeah, get the whole band back together.
Nice. All right. Well, for anyone that enjoyed talking to the Ultimus Primus crews, we will have a panel discussion featured by you. You had a chance to sit down with these guys and kind of talk through everything.
Yeah, I think that's one of the ones fans will probably like a lot more than my silly old droning or Jason's cryptic nonsense or any of the other. It's nice for them to just see those guys as themselves, because they, as I say, they've been a joy to work with, and these characters mean the whole world to them. So yeah, it's very different to this kind of environment. You know, I'm wondering if there's things that they shouldn't have said that will watch last minute. Oh my goodness, because they respect their NDAs and stuff, but they don't know.
What is that? That's got Easter egg written all over it, that little coloured thing there.
In particular, you know, the ad-libs that can come out of that guy's mouth make Richterin look like a nun.
Yeah, they do. But that will be out in about 2 weeks. Carefully editing out some of those Nolan North gems.
Yes.
We'll use that in the outtake reel. So we've kind of gotten to a place where I'd love to ask you for any sort of like closing remarks, comments for fans. You know, it's a pretty momentous occasion.
Are we at closing remarks already?
Closing remarks.
I don't want to go. Really, it's, you know, on behalf of everyone who's ever worked on zombies, and that's a lot of people over the last 10 plus years. I'd just really like to thank the fans for all their support and love over the years, because this has been the greatest professional experience of my life. I'm very, very proud of what we've done, and I hope that the community gets the closure that they deserve, shall we say, because going back to things like that stupid script, we've given it our all, we really have.
Yeah. Well, it's been a lot of memories, like even just being able to like join the VO crew at Comic-Con, and you and Jason last year at San Diego.
It's been quite the adventure.
It has been quite the adventure, absolutely. All right. So with that, I believe that we brought our gameplay trailer for T.A.G der Toten.
T.A.G der Toten. It's funny, isn't it? T.A.G der Toten. You know how we started with Nacht der Untoten? Language is an amazing thing, John.
Words.
Words.
With that, Here's our gameplay trailer.
Again, we've seen this, but we'll let it run.
I know why I am here. Of course this would happen to us! Calm down! They're here! Just like I dreamt of it! They're here! Hold still, scum sucker!
The madness is nearly over, but one thing remains.
He is getting emotional, yeah. What time is the update coming out? 1800. I mean, it should be. I mean, it should be out to pre-install maybe soon. I don't know. Yellow Tiger, what's up, my dude?
After having covered everything that is undead, it is time to cover multiplayer, and to do that,
Let's not cover multiplayer. I don't care about multiplayer right now. However, there was something I noticed.
We'll use that.
Different to
There was something I noticed here.
Stephanie that plays Misty, you know, she's like, yeah, this is a character I get asked about. This is in my canon kind of thing.
So
and
dogs, we've got dogs on this, no
Rossman,
problem, no drama.
Dave, who plays Stillinger, and Scott, who plays Malton, and yeah, it was a really fun energy because we hadn't worked with them for so long.
I just can't wait to play now. But yeah, this, where is it? When we get round here.
That helped, you know, shake things up a lot.
Fun to get the band back together.
Yeah, get the whole band back together.
That there, this here, that's got Easter egg written all over it. I don't know why, but look, blue, green, yeah, it just stands out. Like it's got something. And it's on the flinger as well. It looks like there's more than one flinger on this map as well. It's like I said, I think I might be right. I think it's a way of fast travel around the map. I think that's going to be them, and zip lines are going to be the new fast travel. It's confirmed the Wonderwaff DG1, I suppose, the sniper version of the Wonderwaff is confirmed as a wonder weapon, and also. Obviously we have the Thunder Gun as well, so yeah, I mean this is going to be ridiculous. I just hope they go the right way with it. I just hope the Easter egg and everything else is I just hope it lives up to it. I really do. Yeah, so well, I don't know what to say. I just can't wait to download it. I'm just gonna get it downloaded. I can't wait to play it. I just want to get into it straight away. I'm gonna do my thumbnail. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna do my thumbnail, ready for my stream. I'm gonna go have some food, so I'm all fed, everything else like that, and then I will be ready to rock and roll. So yeah, guys, if you have been new around here, please subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications as well if you are subscribed. Who am I going to play with? Right, so first off, I've got a couple of people that I play in the REF with. So I've got Steffi San, I believe she's going to be jumping in. My boy Sling as well. I think Ace. I think that's my first team straight off the bat. However, through the night I will be playing with various other people. Okay, I've got Boy Better Know as well. He's in a separate team. He's going to be hunting Easter egg as well. So we're going to be working together on different like streams. So there's going to be his team, my team. Any information we get, we're going to pass over between us. So we've got that going on. As the night goes on, obviously there's people that I play with that can't necessarily stay up all night because they've got work or whatever the next day. So I will be playing with those that can't play into the night, so to speak, and then those that can play into the night, I'm then going to jump on with JJ. He'll be on later. My boy JJ, his link in his channel is in my description, so yeah, check that out. He'll be streaming with me as well, but a bit later on. Boy Better Know, another one, and yeah, basically, yeah. I've got a few people, but listen, guys, this stream isn't going to be just a quick 4 hour stream. It's going to be like 3 to 4 hours long, and then once I've ended one stream, I'm going to be straight back into it, and I'm going to be streaming for at least 15, 16, 17, 18 hours, and I'm going to be getting on there and getting it done for you guys. So hopefully, I'm not saying we're going to be first in the world, I'm not saying we're going to be that, but you never know. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming, like, I've prepped for it. I've slept all day, I stayed up all night last night, I've slept all day today. I'm in work on Wednesday, so in order for me to make sure I'm okay for work, obviously I need to get, I need to stay up during the day tomorrow as well. So what better way to do that than to play this? So yeah, I may have the odd break here and there, but my plan is to just literally stream the shit out of it. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Anyone else thinking 24-hour gaming challenge? Well, listen, guys, if you want me to, I can try. I mean, we can set the clock and we can see if we could do that 24-hour stream. I am thinking of doing a 24-hour stream for charity. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, then I'll definitely look at doing that. Maybe when Zombies Chronicles 2 comes out. When Zombie Chronicles 2 comes out, that gives me loads of different maps to play, and we'll do like a 24-hour zombies challenge, something like that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, please smash that like button. Please share these little videos out. Share this stream. Share my last stream. There's another stream on there from the gameplay gameplay trailer breakdown. I've gone through there, some cool stuff in there that I found. So yeah, share away, guys. Taspins, I'm going to send my thumbnail over to you as soon as I've done it. But without any further ado, I'm going to get off, get some food, get prepped, get hydrated, and we will be back with DLC 4. Let's go, guys. Much love and peace out.